What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing clinic and doing a reaction video to Jamel hearing taking on Ladarius Memphis Miller out of the TMT Mayweather Promotions gym promotional company. It's one of those guys that's always talking at the Mayweather gym, but we never really actually seen him fight live. And he won unanimous decision tonight, man. He did great tonight. I was very impressed with his skill set. There's some things he can work on. And for Jamel Herring, man, I don't know where to go next for him, man. Mike Stafford takes another L, another one. And Herring, he lost to Shavakov. I think he had a fight after that. Don't quote me on that. But, he just, for me, he just fights too tight, man. And Miller did too for some of the fight, but he eventually loosened up. And Miller was just pinpoint accurate this fight, man. He didn't waste any punches. And Herring didn't make it hard on him to miss either, Herring seemed a little lethargic coming out there tonight, man. He seemed a little dry. He didn't really start to work up a sweat until the middle of the fight. It was a 10-rounder. And, he wasn't hard to find. Miller looked like fucking Mayweather out there with the punch accuracy. And Herring landed some punches. He landed some hellacious body shots. And I thought that after some of those body shots, Miller's work rate dropped. But as soon as I thought it dropped permanently, he got his win back and he started back working. He was switching it up. He started his versatility. He walked him down in the fight. Then he started to move once Herring started to get a beat on his rhythm. And then a sign of a good young fighter, he tried to close the show. He pressed at the end. He didn't try to mail it in and start dancing the whole 10th round. He was really pressing and trying to land some bombs. He was a good counter puncher as well. Herring just looked like he couldn't pull the trigger tonight. Some of the guys that I was watching the fight on at the thread at first, Eric Hunter, boxer from Philly, Stephen Upshur, very good friend of mine, man. I like Upshur, man. He's a very solid, good guy, man. I can't even call it solid. He's a great guy. Hank Lundy was on there as well. And, they were saying, these are pro boxers saying that he overtrained. He overtrained. I remember he was before the Broner and Garcia fight. He was sparring with Terrence Crawford up there in Colorado Springs, and I have to second that. It looked like he overtrained or he dropped way too quick. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't working up a sweat to middle of the fight. He was dry a lot of that fight, and where do you go from here? I don't know. Should he contemplate retirement? It might be over for him, man. He ain't gonna never be a world champion, unless he makes some major changes. And Mike Stafford is just on the train to loser land, man. He's just been losing. He had a hot streak. Rasheed Warren lost not too long ago. Broner lost again. Robert Easter Jr., some people thought he lost the fight with Shavakov. Now Herring lost again after losing to Shavakov. Got a shout out to Correa, Mr. IOBTA, saying that they ain't training right over there, and must not be. Everybody ain't looking good over there. I understand Easter Jr., his father, Easter Sr., trains him. He's the main trainer, but Mike Stafford still has that input. And, maybe it's time for some of them guys to go find another trainer. I know that Stafford, was a role model to them guys, man, did a lot for them. So, those guys are going to probably be loyal to him to the end and maybe be loyal to him to a fault, especially with Broner. And, they probably going to go down in flames with him. And that's how you're supposed to go down with your father figure and your mentor, somebody that's that close. Hey, it is what it is, Some people that you will die with, some people you will die for. And they willing to look like they die for Mike Stafford. And for Miller, he can improve a lot. I think he has a lot to improve on, but he's very young. He's only 24. And he just, started off a little tight. I like to see his punches flow a little bit more. I like to see him be a little bit more aggressive. I like to see him turn some of those punches over. He's kind of, slapping with some of his punches sometimes. If he learns to put the body torque behind his punches, I think, out of 14 fights, he only got 4 knockouts. Those knockouts will go up. It ain't that he's a pillow puncher. He just don't know how to turn his punches over. And once he learned how to turn those punches over, man, and kind of commit to those punches and punch through the target, and really not just punch at the target, he going to be a problem, man. If he continues just to keep working and become more fluid in his movement, he got good athletic ability. He got good flow sometimes, but he got to learn how to put, 3, 4, 5 together. and combination punch a little bit more and and learn how to really utilize his athletic ability. Once he does that, he has a chance to be on that contender level and has a long shot to be a world champion, But he got to continue to get better. He got to continue to build on this. He got to look at where I can get better at, where he can utilize his athletic abilities and unlock that boxing potential. But it was a good fight, good win for Ladarius Miller. We gone.